They stood in the center of the arena, surrounded by thousands of her people, all jeering, shouting, pounding fists to metal and stone. General Velrissa of the Tharn Dominion was undefeated. She had battled across 12 systems, crushed rebellions, and personally disarmed a cyborg with her bare hands. A towering figure of obsidian armor, long ivory hair braided like a war banner, an axe nearly as tall as a man. She had said it as a joke, a challenge, a drunken boast made 3 weeks ago on a battlefield soaked with victory. If a human ever beats me, I'll marry him, she had said, laughing hard enough to rattle her armor. Now the human stood in front of her. No armor, no blade, just skin, scars, and calm brown eyes that hadn't blinked once since stepping into the ring. His name was Ryan. Some called him mad. Others said he was ex-military, a deserter, or a mercenary. She didn't care. He was here, and he'd accepted her challenge. To surrender, Velrissa called out, circling him. You're not built for this. You're not even wearing protection. I'm not here for a long fight, Ryan replied. Just a good one. The crowd roared at his audacity. Velrissa's grin widened. I'll make it quick, then. She lunged. Ryan dodged, not by stepping back like most, but by shifting into her momentum, slipping past her axe like wind through fingers. His fist struck her ribs before she could even pivot. The impact didn't hurt. Her armor was reinforced, designed to absorb impacts from rail rounds, but the fact he hit her at all made her blink. He moved again, a blur. Velrissa swung low. Ryan dropped, rolled beneath the arc, and kicked her ankle out. She stumbled, not fell but stumbled, and the crowd gasped. This wasn't luck. He knew how to fight Tharn warriors. Ryan didn't taunt. He didn't smirk. He just kept moving. A jab to the shoulder joint. A palm strike to her helmet's air filter. A knee to her stomach plate. He was testing her. Studying weaknesses. Velrissa gritted her teeth. Her blood was running hot now, not with anger, but something else. Excitement. 2 minutes in, she discarded the axe. You want a real fight? She growled, cracking her neck. Then earn it. The crowd went wild as she stepped forward barehanded, gauntlets humming. Ryan nodded once. Finally, they clashed. Fist met flesh. Elbow cracked against armor. The ring echoed with the sound of bodies colliding, boots grinding against metal. She should have had the upper hand. Tharn warriors were stronger, faster, bred for battle. But Ryan moved like he anticipated her. Every strike she threw, he redirected. Every grapple, he escaped. Every feint, he saw through. And then he did something no one ever had. He knocked her off her feet, flat on her back, looking up at the sky. Velrissa saw his hand extended, not mocking, not gloating, just offering. Later, in the silence of the empty medical chamber, Velrissa sat alone, wiping blood from her lip. Her armor had dents she couldn't remember receiving. He hadn't humiliated her. He hadn't even won by much. But he had won, and the vow. Her officers teased her about it over comms, how they clipped that drunken statement into galactic news feeds. Better start planning the wedding, someone joked. But she didn't laugh, because when Ryan met her outside the chamber, his lips split, knuckles bruised, and a quiet determination still burning in his gaze, he said, I'm here to claim what was promised. And she froze. You think I was serious? She asked, stunned. I think you should be. Velrissa narrowed her eyes. You don't know what it means to marry a Tharn general. You said it. I just believed it. She folded her arms. We don't marry for fun. We bond through challenge, through pain, through survival. Ryan nodded. Then fight me again. She blinked. Not now, he added. Not today. But if I have to prove I'm worthy beyond one match, I will. I'm not here for a joke. I'm here because I saw you, and I wanted to stand next to that fire. Velrissa stared. He meant it. No mockery. No conquest. He had taken her words, thrown out in bravado, and decided they were worth something. She should have laughed, or dismissed him, or told him he'd be dead before next moonrise. Instead, she said, You'll have to meet my mother. 3 days later, Ryan stood before the Tharn Queen. She was even taller than Velrissa, draped in armor of bone and crystal, with eyes like cracked stars. "So, the Queen said," circling him, "you beat my daughter, and now you think she's yours." "No," Ryan said calmly, "but I'd like to earn her. Fully." A heavy silence. Then, "And what will you do when she breaks you in half during mating rites?" "I'll heal." The Queen snorted. Bold. Over the next weeks, Velrissa tested him again, in combat drills, in endurance trials, in ancient rituals humans didn't have names for. He never backed down. He never tried to dominate or mock. He just showed up, again and again, and somewhere along the way, Velrissa stopped thinking of it as punishment. It was under the twin moons, after a sparring match that left both of them flat on the ground, panting and bleeding, that she finally looked at him and said, "You do realize that if we go through with this, it's for life?" "I do." She stared at the stars. Tharn vows are forged in battle and blood. It means no betrayal, no retreat. "I know. You'll be hated, judged, laughed at by both our kinds. I've been through worse." She turned her head slowly, meeting his gaze. "Then stand," she said. He rose. She followed, and without any witnesses, without ceremony or applause, she placed her hand on his chest and whispered, "Then I claim you, human.